در روز هشتم مارس روز جهانی زن، سفارت مجازی ایران در گفتگویی با سخنگوی وزارت امور خارجه نوئارت از اهمیت مشارکت زنان در سطوح بالای دولت و همچنین درباره حمایت وی از زنان پرسید.
On behalf of the team at Virtual Embassy Iran, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to answer a few questions on this International Women's Day. If I can, I would like to start with a few questions about your role in the department as a woman. How important do you think it is for women to have to participate in the government and especially in foreign policy?
Yeah, well, in the U.S. government, we have so many high-powered women who are serving, from our former Secretary of State, being a woman, numerous of them, to our most senior foreign policy advisors, to somebody at my level. I'm the spokesperson for the U.S. State Department, so I get to be one of the faces that represents U.S. foreign policy before the entire world. As the woman and as an American, it's such a tremendous honor to be able to do that. And I think one of the things that a woman will bring to the table that a man can't, we understand and have compassion for many of the stories that are being told. We can look at stories and situations that are happening, heartbreaking stories that we see around the world, and bring a different level of compassion and understanding to that. I'm also a mom, so I think that helps me to be able to better relate to the stories, and then speak with colleagues here at the State Department saying, well, what are we doing about children, or what are we doing about women, and being able to ask those questions and get those answers and have some authority behind it.
What helped you rise to your current position, do you think?
Well, my former career was in the world of journalism. And so I always dreamed of being a journalist. I did it for 17 years or so, and I loved that job. I loved being able to meet regular people from around the world, travel to spots around the world, and tell stories to the American and international public. I did that for a time. This opportunity presented itself to join this administration and serve in this capacity at the State Department, and I jumped at it. I was happy to leave television behind as much as I loved that, but it was the opportunity to serve my country, which I had never done. I had some family members who had, and I was really proud of that. As a mom of two little boys, it means a lot to me to say to the kids, I'm serving my country. That's why I'm not home all the time, because I'm serving my country, what I say, in the only way that I'm qualified to do it. So I'm tremendously proud of this. My family did not come from television, did not come from politics. I came from the Midwestern part of the United States. They were regular business owners. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. Now she's a horse trainer. So we're sort of a regular American family, but I always aspired to doing something more with my life. And not that that wasn't doing more, but I aspired to doing something that I viewed as bigger than me. And so now I believe that I'm doing that, and I'm just so proud and honored to be doing that.
I'd like to focus a little bit more on the most recent women's related issues that are happening in Iran, the compulsory hijab and women's protest against this law in Iran, and your recent statement in support of those women. Why do you support Iranian women?
Yeah, we followed the situation very closely, and the U.S. press and international press have asked us a lot of questions. How do we feel about this, about these protests, women who are so brave and are willing to take off their hijab on a street corner and potentially put themselves in a situation where they could be arrested, as we have seen arrests. So I hope that women will know we are watching this, we are supporting them. Here in America, as we do all over the world, we support freedom of speech. It may not be speech that a country is comfortable with hearing, but that is what we support. We support that here at home, speech that our own government doesn't like, and abroad as well. Not only do we support freedom of speech, but it's a freedom of choice to wear what you want. Now, if a woman wants to wear a hijab, terrific. We would not try to say that they should not do that. But if a woman doesn't, she shouldn't have to feel compelled to do that. So it's something that as an American woman, we support, and we're following the women around the world who are standing up for their rights, who are speaking with those voices and following their hearts and what they want to do. We've also followed very closely the stories coming out of Saudi Arabia, for example, where we see women now driving, where we see women going to sports stadiums, and we certainly welcome that, and we're thrilled to help celebrate with them.
So what do you think about non-Iranians? Does this law affect women who are not from Iran?
Certainly, I think this affects women around the world. Whether or not they're choosing to go to Iran, it affects them as well. Because you look at the country, and you look at the country forcing people to dress a certain way. That goes against one of the basic tenets of universal democratic values. And I think that is being able to wear what you choose to wear, being able to speak and present yourself, freedom of assembly, the freedom to do what you choose to do. And as a woman, if you're thinking about whether or not you want to go to Iran, you might think twice about it. A business might think twice before choosing to go to business into Iran because of some of these repressive laws. So we support the women. If they choose that they don't want to wear a hijab, that should be their choice. If they choose that they do want to wear a hijab, that's something we would certainly support as well.
If you have a message for Iranian women, if you want to speak to them directly, here's our camera.
Certainly, I would just say that here from America, we've been watching the stories so closely. These women are so remarkably brave, showing up on street corners, choosing to take off their hijab, and all that they're risking. I mean, risking imprisonment, family harassment. They're such terrific role models for women across the world who are suffering and are facing similar kinds of situations. So if a woman wants to wear a hijab, no issue with that. A woman should be able to do that. But if a woman doesn't want to, that should also, in our view, be her choice. We believe in freedom of speech. We believe in freedom of expression. And what goes along with that is the freedom of wearing what you want to wear. So we're watching those stories. We're supporting you from the United States. There's a lot of interest on the part of journalists here internationally on what is going on to Iran, and we're watching that very carefully.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the team at Virtual Embassy Iran, I would like to wish everyone a happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you.